Good morning, students. Today we will do chapter number 6 of SS, that is effect of British rule in India. Okay, how the British people rule on us. In this chapter we will see that. Okay, so one day in the morning Aruna was reading a newspaper and her daughter Purva is sitting beside her doing her homework. Aruna read loudly that revolution in Libya. By hearing this, Purva asked that why do people revolt? Purva asked her mother that why do people revolt? So Aruna said her that when the need of people are not satisfied and the people face economic crisis, they revolt. What Arona said her that when the needs of people means उनकी ज़रूरत and they are not satisfied, वो लोग satisfy नहीं होते, उनको economic waves face करना पड़ता है, economic crisis face करना पड़ता है, at that time they revolt. In our country also during the British rule, the condition of the people was very bad and resulted into the revolt. Let me tell you about the life of Indians at that time. When British people are ruling on us at that time also, the situation of our country is worst. And in this chapter we will see our situation and how the people rule on us and what they done with us. So at first India is very economically prosperous country. Till 18th century we are very much prosperous. Okay, we are exporting the raw material, to the factories of England and the large market of England and many other foreign countries. We are sending our raw material to that country. But when British people came here and our country became poor and bankrupt during the nearby 200 years of the British rule. When the people came here, they entered into our market, they entered in each and everything, they entered in our political system, they entered in our market, and slowly and steadily उन्होंने हमें एकदम पुअर कर दिया था. Okay, so it has been admitted by the historian across the world that the industries, production, technique and the organization of trade in India were unmatched at that time. ऐसा बोला जाता था कि हम एकदम unmatched थे. No one is there in our competition. कोई हमारे competition में नहीं था. We are on the superior position. But suddenly things got changed. हम एकदम से पुअर हो गए, bankrupt हो गए. जितने टाइम तक ब्रिटिश ने हम पे रूल किया था, वी आर इन वर्स्ट कंडीशन. नाउ द कंडीशन ऑफ पीजेंट्स एंड एग्रीकल्चर ड्यूरिंग द ब्रिटिश रूल. नाउ व्हेन दे आर रूलिंग ऑन अस एट दैट टाइम द कंडीशन ऑफ पीजेंट्स and agriculture. Okay, so now the British got the new opportunity to increase their income. How they got the new opportunity? By getting the Diwani rights. Now what do we mean by Diwani rights? Right to collect the land revenue. Okay, they got this opportunity to increase their income by collecting the land revenue, by getting the rights of Diwani rights. So in Bengal, Bihar and Odisha, they got this type of right. They started exploiting the poor peasants, they started exploiting the poor farmers to earn more revenue. Now what this mean Diwani rights means? See, Diwani rights means the right to collect the land revenue. Okay, means अगर आपके पास कोई ज़मीन है, so some percent आपको, आप जितना भी उस ज़मीन पे प्रोडक्शन कर रहे हैं, आप जितना भी उस ज़मीन से अर्न कर रहे हैं, तो उसका कुछ परसेंट आपको हमें एज दीवानी राइट्स देना पड़ेगा. So now they started exploiting the poor peasants, the karigar and the farmers, the poor farmers, karigar. They started exploiting them to earn more revenue. And what the result came? The poor farmer become more poorer. Okay, already they are very much poor. Now they are becoming more poorer. Many times what happens? They have to sell their jewelry also to pay the revenue, because paying revenue is compulsory. You have to pay the revenue whether you are having the rupees or not, but you have to pay the revenue. It is compulsory. If you are not paying the revenue, means be ready for the punishment. Okay, so it is compulsory for them to pay the revenue. So many times they are selling their jewelry also, they are borrowing the money from the money lenders and consequently fell into the debt trap. This way they are falling in debt. Now after what happened, farmers are losing their land, they are suffering in agriculture. Many regions of the India are suffering in agriculture because farmers are not having their land. That's why we are suffering in agriculture. Now in 1770 CE, 1770, the Bengal witnessed the terrible situation of famine. In that year, the Bengal witnessed the terrible situation of famine and lakhs of the people died due to starvation. Because agriculture is very much weak, agriculture बिल्कुल हो नहीं रहा था, because farmers are not having their land, they are not producing anything, agriculture is equal to zero only. That's why the situation of famine came in Bengal in the year 1770. Okay, and in that situation, in that famine, lakhs of people died. After that, the Governor General Lord Cornwallis, he came to India and he enforced the Permanent Settlement Act in order to collect the revenue. Now at first the land revenue, the Diwani right is not permanent. Okay, आप जितना चाहो उतना फार्मर से ले सकते हो, बट नाउ द अमाउंट इज फिक्स्ड, नाउ द परसेंटेज आर फिक्स्ड. ओके, परमानेंट सेटलमेंट एक्ट इन ऑर्डर टू कलेक्ट रिवेन्यू. दिस गवर्नर जनरल लॉर्ड कॉर्नवालिस, ओके, उन्होंने ये सेटलमेंट एक्ट बनाया था, परमानेंट सेटलमेंट एक्ट बनाया था रिवेन्यू कलेक्ट करने के लिए. नाउ इफ़ यू आर नॉट गिविंग द रिवेन्यू मीन्स यू आर, आपको पनिशमेंट मिल सकती है, आपको जेल हो सकती है, आपको कुछ भी हो सकता है. ऑन द एनुअल बेसिस कंपनी हैज़ फिक्स सर्टन रिवेन्यू and on that basis only they are getting their income. Now they involve zamindars also in their party. They involve zamindars also. Zamindars who are from our country, they are our brothers, है ना, हम एक दूसरे को भाई भाई मानते हैं. So they are our brothers, we are belonging from the same country. Though only the zamindars who are the rich class of the society, rich people of the society, वो उन लोगों की साइड हो गए थे, ब्रिटिश के साइड हो गए थे. हाउ, कैसे उनकी साइड हो गए थे? बिकॉज ब्रिटिश जो थे उन्होंने उनको प्रॉमिस किया था दैट इफ़ यू विल सपोर्ट अस वी विल ऑलवेज सपोर्ट यू. ओके, एंड ब्रिटिशर्स हैव गिवन देम द राइट, गिवन देम द परमानेंट राइट ऑफ लैंड रिवेन्यू एंड कलेक्शन. ब्रिटिशर्स ने उनको ये राइट दे दिया था कि लैंड रिवेन्यू, लैंड कलेक्शन सब आप ही करोगे. ओके, सो इन दिस वे द क्लास ऑफ लैंडलॉर्ड्स बिकेम लॉयल टू द company. Now what happened? Now the income of the company is ensured. They know that we will get this much income every year, every month. They know because this is the Permanent Settlement Act. This is the confirm act on the paper. So they know that they will get the income in the certain period of time or in certain period of year. They know. So they are very much ensured. Now what happens, students? The peasant who work hard in hot sun to cultivate the land and grow crops were exploited. उन लोगों की हालत जो सीरियसली में हार्ड वर्क कर रहे थे, उनकी हालत बहुत ज़्यादा ख़राब हो चुकी थी. इफ़ेक्ट ऑन सोशल लाइफ, सोशल लाइफ पे कैसा इफेक्ट पड़ा? तो वॉरेन हेस्टिंग, द पर्सन हु वॉज गिवन द जॉब ऑफ कलेक्टिंग रिवेन्यू was known as the collector. Now after this Governor General Lord Cornwallis who came to India, this Warren Hastings, and this person got the job of collecting revenue, that's why he is known as collector. ठीक है, इसके हाथ में वो पावर थी. And he also performed the function of judge. In any matter, he is performing the function of judge. Now the British administrative started destroying our ancient system of self-rule. Now in each and every matter, they started pointing their nose. They started हर चीज़ में इन्वॉल्व होना. They started involved in each and every matter. सो इस तरीके से हमारा जो एंशियंट सिस्टम था सेल्फ रूल का, वो डिस्ट्रॉयड होता जा रहा था. एट फर्स्ट एंशियंट टाइम में इन आवर इंडिया एवरी विलेज वॉज लाइक अ स्मॉल रिपब्लिक नेशन. हर जगह एक छोटी छोटी रिपब्लिक की तरह होती थी. बट आफ्टर व्हेन द ब्रिटिश पीपल केम, उन लोगों ने सब चीज़ अपने हैंड में ले ली थी. दे हैंड ओवर एवरीथिंग, सब चीज़ अपने हैंड में ले ली थी. एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सिस्टम, कलेक्शन एंड एवरीथिंग, रिवेन्यू एंड एवरीथिंग उन्होंने अपने हैंड में ले ली थी. तो उससे हमें फील हो रहा था दैट हमारा जो सेल्फ रूल है वो चीज़ बहुत ख़त्म होती जा रही है. एट फर्स्ट ग्राम पंचायत हैंडल ईच एंड एवरीथिंग. इफ़ समथिंग हैपन इन द विलेज, ग्राम पंचायत विल हैंडल ईच एंड एवरीथिंग. बट नाउ द ब्रिटिशर्स आर केम, so the function of gram panchayat is almost over. No one is giving the importance to gram panchayat. As we know that the panchayats are the backbone of the self rule in our country. But after the Britishers came, this gram panchayat is now no more. Okay, अभी gram panchayat का कुछ भी decision matter नहीं करता था. Only the decision of Britishers are confirmed and are finalized. Okay, now after this the institution of local self rule stood their ground even during this time of foreign invention and the Sultanate period, but were destroyed due to the administrative policies of the British. बहुत टाइम तक बहुत हार्ड फेस में भी जो हमारी लोकल सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट थी उन्होंने रहा, वो स्टेबल रहे. बट एट द टाइम ऑफ ब्रिटिशर्स वो कम्प्लीटली डिस्ट्रॉयड हो चुके थे. नाउ द पॉलिसी ऑफ सोशल रिफॉर्म्स बाय द कंपनी मेड पीपल इनसिक्योर and suspicious. Now the policy which they are making, now people are getting so much insecurities and they are so much suspicious now that what they are doing, what they are not doing, what they will get from us. तो लोग बहुत ज़्यादा इनसिक्योर हो चुके थे अब इन सब चीज़ों से. दे फेल्ट दैट द गवर्नमेंट वॉज ट्राइंग टू कन्वर्ट दैम टू क्रिश्चियनिटी एंड डिस्ट्रॉय द इंडियन कल्चर एंड रिलीजन फॉर एवर. नाउ व्हाट पीपल आर थिंकिंग, नाउ ये लोग क्या चाहते हैं, ये हमारा रिलीजन चेंज करवाना चाहते हैं. हम जो अभी तक अच्छे से इंडिया में रह रहे थे, वी आर फॉलोइंग द आवर कल्चर, आवर रिलीजन. दिस पीपल डोंट वांट अस टू फॉलो आवर ओन रिलीजन, आवर कल्चर. दे this thing people are assuming, okay, local people are assuming that the government was trying to convert them into Christianity. People believe that the Indian social system was deliberately undermined in the railways and military. An order was passed in Agra that every Indian had to salute the British. If it was not done, it was considered as crime and was liable for punishment. As a result, there was a widespread sentiment of anger and hatred for the British among the Indians. Now suddenly what happened? One day one order was passed in Agra that every Indian have to salute the British officer. Whenever you see some British people, British officer, you have to salute them at whatever situation you are in. If you saw the Britishers, you have to salute them, okay. And if you are not saluting them, means you are considered as a criminal and you are liable for punishment, okay. So when we got to know about this thing, when we got to know about this order, the hatred, the anger in the people, the hatred and the anger in the local Indians were on the peak. मतलब इतना गुस्सा, their sentiments are hurted, वो इतने गुस्से में थे, इतना hatred feel कर रहे थे that अब ब्रिटिशर्स के लिए उन लोगों के अंदर बिल्कुल भी sympathy नहीं बची थी. डिस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ इंडियन ट्रेड एंड इंडस्ट्री. नाउ सी, एट फर्स्ट हमारे पीजेंट सफ़र हुए थे, एग्रीकल्चर सफ़र हुआ था. आफ्टर दैट आवर सोशल लाइफ इज सफ़र्ड. नाउ द डिस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ इंडियन ट्रेड एंड इंडस्ट्री. इंडियन ट्रेड एंड इंडस्ट्रीज़ जिसकी वजह से हम एक टाइम पर इकोनॉमिकली प्रॉस्पेरियस थे, हमारा कंपटीशन कोई भी नहीं था. जैसे ही ब्रिटिशर्स आए उस चीज़ को भी उन्होंने बहुत ज़्यादा डिस्ट्रक्शन पहुंचाया. सो देयर इज़ लॉट ऑफ डिस्ट्रक्शन इन इंडियन ट्रेड एंड इंडस्ट्री. एट फर्स्ट we are supplying, we are exporting our things, we are exploiting our handlooms, we are exporting so many things in the outside of the country like jute, silk, woolen, cotton textiles, muslin, dhaka, our commodities like salt, sulphate, sugar, etc. This much thing we are exporting in the outside of the country, in Asia, in the market of Asia and in the market of Europe. We are exporting this much thing, and in the exchange of this tremendous thing, we are getting gold and silver. But when these people came, when they entered into our market, सब चीज़ चेंज हो गई, okay. The whole scenario was changed as the British rule was implemented. जैसे उनका रूल हमारे यहाँ पे स्टार्ट हुआ, this whole scenario changed. At first, in the exchange of that commodities, in the exchange of that huge commodities, we are getting gold and silver. But now everything is reversed. We are getting nothing. We are not exporting anything because our agriculture is nil, our trade and industries are nil, so we are not exporting anything. And in the beginning of the industrial revolution, the British took 500 crore rupees as per today's standard only from Bengal during their rule. Now when they are ruling on us, when our industries are facing so much problem, our trade is facing so much problem, at that time they have taken 500 crore rupees, 500 crore rupees, okay, only from Bengal during their rule, only from Bengal. So you can imagine the wealth that British would have accumulated from our whole country. Only from Bengal they have taken 500 crores. So one can imagine that how much money they have taken from our India. And after that, see, with the help of the raw material produced in India and the money collected from India, the business and industries in England prosperous. The money which they are collecting from India, the raw materials which they are collecting from India, with the help of that thing, they are increasing their industries in their country. They are increasing their business, their industries in their country. Their mills started progressing. The cloth manufactured in England was imported in India without lying any duty on it, whereas there were taxes up to 80% on the cloth manufactured in India. Now what they are doing, the clothes which are manufacturing in their companies, in their industry, they are not paying any kind of lying duty on them. And we have to pay that 80% taxes on the cloth manufactured in India. So you can see the scenario. उन्होंने अपनी चीज़ सस्ती करके हमारी चीज़ और भी ज़्यादा महंगी कर दी थी. And as a result, the textile made in India become costlier in the Indian market itself. जो चीज़ हमारे यहाँ पे बन रही थी वो हमारे यहाँ पर ही बहुत ज़्यादा महंगी हो चुकी थी. The Indian handicraft and cottage industry could not withstand the competition and they could not sustain themselves. Many skill-based industries of our country like textile industry, glass, paper, mineral, shipbuilding, etc. got ruined due to the policies of the British. Lakhs of skilled workers become unemployed. Gradually, the poor workers of the rural areas of India become poorer. Now, see, there are so many industries in our India, small, big, so many industry, cottage industries are there, handicraft industries are there, they are the small industry. So it is not possible for them to stand against British, it is not possible for them to stand against British in the competition. So फिर क्या हुआ, मैनी स्किल बेस्ड इंडस्ट्रीज़ जो टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री, ग्लास इंडस्ट्रीज़, पेपर इंडस्ट्री, मिनरल इंडस्ट्री, शिप बिल्डिंग इंडस्ट्री थी, वो बुरी तरीके से ड्यून्ड हो चुकी थी. दे आर ऑलमोस्ट ओवर एंड द लैक्स ऑफ स्किल्ड वर्कर्स बिकम अनएम्प्लॉयड और ग्रेजुअली व्हाट हैपन, द पुअर वर्कर बिकेम मोर पुअरर. ओके, ये फुल कॉन्सेप्ट जो था दिस इज़ रिलेटेड टू अवर इंडस्ट्रीज़ ओनली, दैट हाउ हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज़ जो थी वो बंद हुई और कैसी उनकी इंडस्ट्रीज़ ह्यूज प्रॉफिट अर्न कर रही थी. हमारी जो छोटी इंडस्ट्री थी दैट इज़ कॉटेज इंडस्ट्री, हैंडीक्राफ्ट इंडस्ट्री, उन लोग के लिए ये पॉसिबल नहीं था कि वो इतने स्ट्रॉन्ग कंपनीज़ का कंपटीशन में वन ऑन वन करे, इसलिए उन लोग की कंपनीज़ बंद हो गई थी एंड मेनी स्किल्ड वर्कर्स जो थे वो अनएम्प्लॉयड हो चुके थे. आफ्टर दैट द सस्पिशियन अबाउट द रिफॉर्म्स. नाउ आफ्टर दिस Warren Hastings, this William Bentinck came to India. William Bentinck came to India and he is having some different thinking. Okay, he is having some different thinking. So he started taking the interest in the life of people of India, and William Bentinck became quite popular in India by introducing few beneficial reforms. उन्होंने कुछ ऐसे रिफॉर्म्स इंट्रोड्यूस करे जो हमारे लिए बहुत बेनिफिशियली प्रूव हुए, इसीलिए वो इंडिया में बहुत ज़्यादा पॉपुलर हो गए थे. At the time of his tenure, many reforms had been implemented in India. They are that William Bentinck, he banned the practice of sati in the year 1829. He passed the law in the year 1829 to ban the practice of the sati. Many Indian reformers are doing this. Many Indian reformers are raising their voice. They are doing the social work for बैनिंग द इवल प्रैक्टिसेस ऑफ सती, बट उनको वो चीज़ नहीं गेन हो पा रही थी जो विलियम बेंटिक ने कर दी थी. विलियम बेंटिक जो थे एग्री हुए थे, उनके एफर्ट देखकर एग्री हुए थे एंड इन द ईयर 1829 ही डिसाइडेड टू बैन द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ सती. नाउ ड्यूरिंग हिज टेनर इन इंडिया, during the time of William Bentinck, the English ruler tried to eradicate the social evil as per the will of the social reformer. The orthodox class witnessed this reforms was suspicion. Now बहुत सारे different reforms यहाँ पर बने गए. कुछ ऐसे reforms थे जो हमारे लिए बहुत ज़्यादा beneficiary prove हुए थे. कुछ ऐसे reforms भी थे जिससे जो orthodox class होती है, जिनकी अलग मेंटालिटी होती है, जिनकी थिंकिंग बहुत पुरानी होती है, उन लोगों को वो चीज़ें सही नहीं लग रही थी. तो ऐसी सब चीज़ें भी हुई थी. The company had passed a resolution to spend 1 lakh rupees every year on education, but it was not implemented. Starting में what company had decided ना that we will spend every year 1 lakh rupees in education, but ये चीज़ अभी तक implement नहीं हुई थी. So when this William Bentinck came to India, he formed an education committee. In the year 1834, with the help of Lord Macleay, he introduced the English education in India. Okay, he introduced the English education in India. However, the educational method advocated by Macleay could not benefit the youth. India lost the advantage of acquiring the ancient knowledge and skill developed by their ancestors. The method of British education system was opposed by a number of intellectuals and Mahatma